Hey guys, so welcome to a format I was thinking about. It's basically on par with commentary, but I just talk about literally whatever. I also like gaming, so I'll put whatever game I want to play in the background. Also, sorry if this gameplay sucks. I'm hard stuck gold. Pray for me. Anyway, I kind of want to talk about the world. Unfortunately, usually I escape the world through the internet, but now I'm yapping my worries and thoughts onto the internet. Yikes. Yes, my title is a reference to what Jaden Smith said, so I just want to put that out there.
Oh my God, can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now?
If it wasn't obvious, I live in America. Anyone else notice that suddenly politics are important and life gets real? Jaden Smith is nowhere to be seen. Like, he actually can't handle the important conversations that he was claiming to want to talk about. I mean, in his defense, I also can barely handle these conversations. I just have thoughts in my head that I want to get out. And nobody in my life wants to hear me talk about politics all the time, so I'm just gonna throw it up in this video. I am slightly worried. I have this looming dread that I'm not smart enough. Like, I don't have proper maturity in words. Like, I'm gonna do something wrong or I'm not good enough. But humans make mistakes all the time. I can always fix those mistakes and do my best. So, let me address the elephant in the room. Charlie Kirk is dead. I'm not mourning his death. If I died, he wouldn't bat an eye. He also was terrible while he was alive. Ironically, talking about gun death during his gun death. I could get deeper. The only reason I'm a little worried is that it seems like we're headed into a violent time. I'm not a violent person, but I recognize all change through America, and change in general is through violence. I'm not gonna get into conspiracies. I just think it's stupid without concrete evidence. I also don't want to use my platform to spread potential lies. I just think it's irresponsible and dumb. What I will say is that Charlie Kirk's murderer potential text messages sound like they're from like a 1900s Victorian adult. Like, what? If he does text like that, and if he does sound like that, I am genuinely gonna clown on him even harder. I mean, those text messages seem to be fake. I'm not saying they are, and I'm not saying it's proven they are, but they genuinely don't seem real. Charlie Kirk's assassin had like 1,000 hours on Sea of Thieves. Like, be so for real. Have you guys ever seen a gamer talk like that? And not just that, it was like so robotic. It was like, and it went in like a sequence of such convenience. Like, he confessed, explained, and then gave proof of premeditation. Like, come on. So again, not saying they're fake, but I do think that we should question it because law enforcement, time and time again, has been proven untrustworthy. And I'm just saying, thank God I don't have to investigate that myself. It pains me to say it, but I actually did. I'm so sorry. It's really hard for me to say it, but I agreed with Candace Owens once. Oh God!
This is not left or right. I don't care. Stop trying to make this a trans issue, a right. That whole debate, it's low, guys. I'm telling you, that is not where we need to be right now as a society. We are fighting evil people who rule over us and impact both sides.
And I mean, she's right. All jokes aside, she is right, and we need better open dialogue between each other as the people. Instead of blaming each other, we need to question the people in power and the billionaires. Change needs to happen. During the same day, I think I should bring this up because it is important. There was a school shooting in Evergreen High School. It's unfortunate that there's like a competition for news, and whatever gets clicks will get, or clicks, I sound like I'm 50. Whatever gets the most views and gives you the most money, they'll report on. So Charlie Kirk overtook a school shooting tragedy. And honestly, it shouldn't be like that. It should be news covered unbiasedly and without an a certain agenda. But as time goes on, that we've lost that and continue to lose that. one death should not be more important than another's, you know? So I feel they should have equal coverage. It's getting harder and harder to get unbiased news. And no, I'm not about to cut to an ad segment, you know what, like what's it called? Like ground news? Like I'm not doing all that. But it is getting harder, and also I think there should be a ban on AI. I know nobody asked me on that, but it felt somewhat relevant, so I think that we should just ban AI. Like, not only is it bad for the environment, but also it's just bad for everybody. And I'm sure that the American government wouldn't even want to ban AI because companies are gonna start making a profit, if not now making a profit off AI. Because America loves to side with the people and not companies. Like Nestle, and Israel, which I am going to get into. I got sidetracked. The script did not go this way. I didn't even bring up AI in the script, but there's just so much stuff I want to like say and things that come to mind. Like there's just so much bad things happening. Speaking of bad things, so many others are a victim of violence every day. There are victims of violence every day in Gaza. Not just violence, but a genocide. There's truly nothing I could say that hasn't already been said. The current genocide is tiring to hear about, but not as tiring to live through. Finally, the UN ruled, admitting Israel is committing a genocide. Grass found outside. It's truly insane how people see footage of people dying and still stand with Israel. Insanity. The argument of, oh, they'd kill you if you were gay. I truly don't care at all. I don't think that's crazy. The baseline is no one should die. That's the point. Innocent children, men, women are dying, no matter what they believe in. The baseline is that Israel, now committing a genocide, has basically realized that they could do this to anyone and just get away with it. Not even just necessarily Israel themselves, but other places might also think that. Oh, well, Israel got away with it, so maybe we can. You might think that's a stretch, but when other places realize that they can get away with what Israel's doing, and maybe not even just places, but people and society, they realize that they can just get away with hurting people for a certain cause, or because the Bible says so and they have a right to the land. It's a problem when people can just create whatever reason they want and do whatever they want because of that reason they made up. I don't keep the same, because I said, innocent people don't deserve to die no matter what they believe in. I don't keep that same energy for Charlie because he actively didn't care himself who lived and who died. He actively supported genocide and gun violence. I'm not happy he's dead per se because, again, the rise in violence is terrifying. But I don't feel bad. Okay, technically he wasn't like, yay, gun violence, so he wasn't like a supporter in that sense, but he did say that there would unfortunately have to be gun deaths for the Second Amendment to stay in place.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year.
I feel the same about Luigi, the guy who killed the healthcare CEO. I don't feel bad for the CEO. I think the men should serve reasonable time and then get released. Like, they're trying to push the death penalty and give Luigi a terrorist charge. That's insane. They wouldn't do that for a regular person. But because this guy was a billionaire, now it's a terrorist charge. The reason why I want them to, like, go to jail and serve time is because someone said if you excuse one man's murder, then where do you draw the line? And I believe that there should be some law and order. Now, I hate the police. Let's get this straight. I hate the police, and I believe the law is very racist and prejudiced. And I believe the prison system should be more reform rather than lockup, because there's obviously a problem and it truly does nothing. But you shouldn't be able to go around and kill people. Okay, I feel like everyone watching this probably agrees with me. You can't just go around killing people. There should be a consequence to that. So even though I don't care about the CEO and I hated Charlie Kirk and I don't care about Charlie Kirk, I still think they should get punished for killing somebody. The way some people switch up when the shooter isn't conventionally attractive is kind of wild, but not surprising. People glorify Luigi versus saying no one deserves to die with Charlie is ironic. Honestly though, I kinda understand. People knew who Charlie was. I knew who he was and I hated him. He actually passed away while I was streaming. My first words were, I thought I was gonna have to listen to him yap for years. Not many, if any, knew the CEO besides his family. There's no face or personal feelings toward the guy. Versus Charlie, who people could say for sure how much they hated or liked him. For the most part, there are some people who don't know who he is, but still. So I do think that if the accused shooter was more conventionally attractive, then he might also get a similar backing. Maybe not exactly because again, Charlie Kirk was more well known and a lot of people did see him die. There was a video. So I'm not saying it would be exactly the same by any means. But I do think there would be more of a backing towards the shooter if he was conventionally attractive. It's kind of sick how like you murder someone, no matter if they're a terrible person or not. Like like imagine you get murdered and the people are like, wait, he's kind of attractive though. What? I don't know. It's funny, I guess. I guess you can recognize someone's attractiveness while you could also say that what they did isn't acceptable. But when you start glorifying it, obviously, of course, that's when it crosses the line. A little bit of a side tangent, but like y'all remember when they were like thirsting over Ted Bundy or something? Like that guy was ugly. Like not even the fact that it changes your perspective. Like if he actually killed, like we know he killed people, right? And like at the time it was just a trial, but like dead ass. Even like if I didn't know, like I would think this guy is butt ugly. Like I can't. This isn't me like shaming the victims which I don't even think he lured women with his looks. I think he purely pretended to be injured and then asked them for help. So no, so even if he seduced bullshit. So but even it like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people at the trial who were thirsting over him, like women at the trial supporting him, like that is weird, and he is not that attractive. Actually, I'd go as far as to say he's not attractive at all. Okay, back to side tangent over back to what I was talking about. Anyone else notice that people who wouldn't even talk about politics now are suddenly putting a statement out for Charlie Kirk? Like actors and such. While innocent kids and minorities die every day, I don't see a statement for them. It has to be a white man. I understand the question of free speech comes into question, but let's remind ourselves, Charlie Kirk spent his entire career spewing hate speech that could potentially harm others. You can say whatever you want in America, but it doesn't absolve you of consequences, just like any other person. Now, let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying that you should die because you're spewing hate speech. Well, okay, personal opinions aside in this sense, legally it's not right to kill somebody, so you shouldn't die for being an asshole, I guess. So like if I wanted to talk shit about like Republican stuff, like, and people don't agree with me, you shouldn't shoot me on it, so that's what I'm saying. Like you should just like kill people and shoot people. I know it's not as easy as like, just because you didn't agree with me doesn't mean you have to kill him. Like, obviously, he was just being racist and homophobic and transphobic. Like he was saying really bad stuff. So it's not in the same vein. But my general overall statement is that we should not kill each other. Thank you. Let's be real. Many people have died for words. It's not new. It happens all the time, every day. Charlie's not the first and definitely not the last. Let's stop comparing Charlie to politicians or MLK. Please stop comparing him to MLK. He was a podcaster. He was not as important as MLK at all. And actually, he advocated against MLK. So like, let's like not pretend here, okay? That dumbass image where they're like, you don't get killed for saying the truth, and they put MLK next to Charlie. Like, stop, just stop, because Charlie would probably be racist to him. Okay, I'm gonna do like probably a million side tangents, but just another thing that I thought of. Anyone else notice that like Charlie Kirk's wife, her thing did not like. I know grief cannot be measured in like certain emotions. Like grief is different for everybody. You mourn people differently, but there is a stark contrast between like his wife's video and the way she presented Charlie Kirk during his death. It seemed more orchestrated and scripted, and it's fine to script what you want to say during a funeral because you don't know, you might not have any ideas, you might be too sad to even speak on your script, but there's definitely something that didn't really seem like mourning rather than like getting a paycheck. In her official statement, and I believe it was his, maybe not funeral, but like right after his funeral, she was telling her kid uh, that her father passed away. And let me get this straight, it's very upsetting and sad. And there is no right way to tell your kid that their father passed away. There's no right way. I'm not. I wouldn't shame her at all because of course I never had to do that and hope I never have to do that. But I believe there are definitely wrong ways to tell your kid, and I think, from my personal opinion, if it's true of what she said, which I hope she's lying, I think she said the wrong thing. She said, he's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. What on earth are we talking about?
I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget.
I'm not religious, but if I was, saying that your father is with Jesus is probably a step you would take. Telling them that their father passed away. I have nothing wrong with that. I have a problem with the fact that she said he's on a work trip to afford her blueberry budget, which is why it's so insane and sounds so almost insensitive. And I hope she didn't actually say that. I hope she made it up for the speech. I really hope she did. And I hope she incorporated in here that her father wasn't coming back. Like, that is important information that the child needs to learn and understand. I don't know what they say in that house. I don't know what goes on. I'm not going to pretend I do. So I will just say that I'm going to assume that's not all she said. And I'm going to assume maybe she didn't even say that. Maybe she just said it for the speech. And I can only hope she phrased it differently. Okay, probably enough about Charlie. It's just like so much stuff from that situation was just like I was just remembering in my head. So and enough about him. Probably watch me make another video and I'm like, I'm not done. Like, anyway, so recently, as you all, I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. Probably same day I'm editing it. Not exactly. I've been editing this for like 2-ish days now. Anyway, if you might have seen on TikTok, depending on when I upload this, the rapture is supposed to happen tomorrow on the 23rd. Right now, I'm editing on the 22nd. So if it isn't obvious, I obviously don't believe the rapture is happening. We've been saying this for years and years and years. The rapture is gonna come on this year. It's gonna happen. It never happens. The only thing that truly worries me is that I was scrolling on TikTok, and if I can find the TikTok, I'll put it in here. But I don't think I liked it. I don't think I saved it because I wasn't thinking about it. But it was a mom, and she was like, I've been on rapture. They called it rapture talk, and she was freaking out and crying, like a mother. And I'm just like, I hope. She admitted in the TikTok that she is very impressionable and very, very easily swayed. And if that's pretty evident from the video, and like, no hate to her because I've been paranoid before. Not necessarily the same thing, but I tend to watch true crime at night because I hate myself. And when I watch true crime at night, I get hyper paranoid. I start looking around my room. One time I made myself so paranoid that I slept with scissors under my pillow because I thought something was gonna happen. This wasn't like in the far in the past either. I literally just did that last night. I was watching true crime and it was like really dark out, and I got so paranoid that I was like looking behind my shoulder while I was like making ramen at 1 in the morning. So I know what it's like to be like genuinely afraid for your life, even if it's not realistic by any means. So I understand, but at the same time, since this person was a mom, I'm a little bit worried that maybe she didn't realize how paranoid she was being and then spread it to her kids. Kids should obviously not be worried about being raptured or like, honestly, I believe that kids should also not have to worry about dying or politics or anything like that. Like when I was in elementary school, the only time I started really worrying was when I was in middle school, and I think that's pretty normal. But like straight up, all in elementary school, I wasn't that worried. I think I only started really worrying, and I was still a little bit ignorant in 6th grade, and 6th grade was elementary school for me still. So I still think it aligns. This kind of leads into something else that's like always on my feed. It's like it's conservative kids. It's like their father profiting off his kids, like rage baiting these people online. And it's not that kids necessarily are stupid, you know, they can pick up on certain things, and you can teach them about it as time goes on, and if they ask about it, you can answer honestly. Obviously, you know, don't tell them anything gruesome or graphic, but you can explain to them. I'm not saying they have to be totally ignorant, but your kids, honestly, honest to God, should not be going to Charlie Kirk's memorial. I think the only thing they should be worried about at that point is what the next Fortnite shop is gonna look like. I'm not gonna show a video. I'm not gonna show the kids' faces because I hate the idea that uh I just don't like kids' faces being shown on the internet because they cannot grasp the potential danger and the idea that the internet is forever. I believe kids cannot consent to being in front of the camera and being online until they're much older. I don't know how much older because I started being on the internet since I was like 7 or 8, and I don't think I should have been. I think they should at least be a freshman in high school. Now, I know that seems like a really long time because you got to get through elementary school and middle school, but I don't think you could truly grasp it and understand it till you're at least in high school. I mean, maybe if the kid is really adamant in middle school, but I don't think elementary school kids should be on the internet spewing political beliefs that they might not even fully understand. And that's gonna be with them forever. Like, these kids are young. Like, the one kid is definitely in elementary school, and I believe the oldest one is also still in elementary school. I think he might be closer to like 5th or 6th grade, but that is still very young. I'm not a parent. I'm not their parent. I hope he knows what he's doing for the kid's sake. But I really wish he just didn't. Even if the kid was spewing more left-leaning ideology, I still think the kids should not be online and speaking on politics that they won't exactly understand. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Like, should I shut up? Am I wrong? Did I say anything wrong? I don't know. I just assume I did something wrong. Or do you agree? Do you have something else to add? The only reason I did this with Overwatch in the background is because I struggle to have motivation for things that I'm uninterested in. So if I incorporate something that I'm really interested in, then I could maybe produce more videos like this. Or who knows, maybe I'll get super depressed that I'll be like, nah, I'm too lazy. Who knows? But I want to make more content, so I thought this would be a good way. I don't mean to be like insensitive. I know I was talking about serious topics while having Overwatch in the background or like whatever game I want to play, but I just want to create more content. All right, bye.